This is PowerPoint Module 2 SAM Textbook Project, Enhancing Presentations with Shapes and SmartArt. I am using my flash drive, and this time I'm going to use my online class as my course for demonstration. And I'm going to open up the folder. I created a PowerPoint folder inside of my class folder. And then, because this is PowerPoint 2, this is where I'm going to put the files that I need to download. So I'll minimize that down for now, and we'll go to SAM. I have already gone through Blackboard, and I have selected the PowerPoint Module 2 SAM Textbook Project. And you'll see there's a little set of instructions there for us to pay attention to. Now, with all textbook projects, we always have to go to the second page and highlight and copy the name they're expecting, because they always have us rename it. So I'm going to do a Control-C to copy that, and I'll click on the back button, and I'll click on the start file with the name that's the wrong name, like we saw in Word. And I'm just going to navigate to where my file folder is for this class, and open up the appropriate folder. And then when I click in the file name part, all I have to do is a Control-V to paste the new name in, and I'll save it. We also have 2 support files, so I just tell it to save it in the same location. I don't have to navigate, I just click on Save. Okay, now my file is down here in Chrome's download bar, so I'll go ahead and open it up. And this is what they've given us to work with. Now, they have this little attention down at the bottom that's in the notes that says, the online themes offered by Microsoft are subject to change. So to ensure that we can successfully complete our SAM project, the steps to search for and download an online theme have been completed for us in this file. Actually, I can find this theme without any trouble, but in the past they've sometimes selected a theme that was no longer available, and then we would have so much trouble trying to, find the right theme, and not being able to find it, and not being able to be graded correctly through the SAM auto grading program. So they tell us to start with the section to delete a slide. Now they also say that we can close out the notes pane by clicking on notes. So we'll do that just to get it out of the way. I plan on breaking this down into parts. I tried to record it earlier this week as one big ginormous recording, and I got tired, and I felt was a mess. So I'm re-recording this in parts or stages. Okay, now we have several slides here, and if you kind of go through the thumbnail views, you'll see there's a bunch of slides in here. Some of these we're going to want to keep, and some we can throw away, if you will. Right now there are 11 slides. We want to select slide 3 because we're not going to use this column chart and line chart combo. And then we're also going to hold down the Control key and get the slide 4, which has tables. We're not going to create any tables in this slideshow. So you can right click on either of those 2 selected and choose Delete Slide from the pop-up menu. Now the second step they want to do to get rid of the slides is the new slide 4. I'm just going to scroll down till I can see the last slide, which is slide 9. Hold down the Shift key so you get slide 4 all the way through slide 9 inclusive. You can right click on any one of those and choose Delete Slide, or you can just hit the Delete key on the keyboard. Now we're going to go back to the title slide, and unlike when we go and get a new slide and we choose one of the layouts where it has placeholder text that disappears when we want to type in the box, this particular text was created by someone as basically a template. So when I click here, that doesn't disappear. The fastest way to select the whole entire line is to do a triple click, 3 rapid left clicks. If you find yourself not being able to do that, you can click at the beginning or the end and just, paint across it till you select it. Now, the title that they want us to type here is conserve energy at home. Oops, my caps lock key is on. Now, we want to also change subtitle, and when you click there, you realize they've typed the word in. So just double click on that word. Now, we're going to type it with the proper capitalization, but it's going to go in all caps. So we're going to type in save money, and never is capitalized, and then the words increase, comfort. I'm having to look over my shoulder to look at the book. Now, they have us go back and click on the first one, because by default everything is left aligned in their placeholder text boxes. So they want this to be aligned to the right. On our home tab on the ribbon, in the paragraph group, you can see that left align is the one that's is defaulted to. We're going to click on align right, and then we're going to click inside of save money, and we're going to align right that as well. We didn't have to highlight the text, because remember, it's a paragraph format we're doing. When we're doing font changes, like the size of the font, the color, and so forth, then we have to highlight the text, and that's what we're getting ready to do. Okay, go back to conserve energy at home, and we were supposed to make this 80 point. So do a triple click, and from your little mini toolbar where it has 66 point, you could go all the way down to 80 if you want to, but I have found that if I just do the increase font 2 times, it's at the right size. Then I'm going to go down and triple click on save money and increase comfort, and I'm supposed to boldface it. So from my mini toolbar, it's really handy. I'm supposed to change the font size to 28. I'm going to use increase font size twice. And let's see here. We're going to change it green, the green in the standard color. So go to your font color. You don't want this green, even though it's pretty close to the green down here from the standard colors, it's not the same. So make sure you follow the instructions, especially on your homework assignment, to choose the right color. Now you can click away from that and just see how it's going to look. I think if it were me trying to run this slideshow and I wanted to use the green, I would probably make the font just a little bit bigger. So we've taken care of entering, and we have taken care of aligning our text on the title slide. We're now ready to go to slide 2. Now here's where they've put another set of instructions for placeholders, which means we have to select them in order to change them. So first and foremost, we're going to type where the title and content layout with list is. So just triple click on it, and using proper capitalization, you're going to type in energy efficient products. Energy efficient is hyphenated. Okay. Now, the first bullet here, we're going to have to highlight it. It says add your first bullet here, bullet point here. This case, we have to highlight it. And we're going to type in all caps, energy star, in lowercase certified. And then LED is in all caps, and then the lowercase s for plural. We're going to hit the enter key, and of course they have you go up to the increase list level. That button in Word was called increase indent. So we'll click it so we have an bullet point that's been placed to the second level. And for this, we're going to type in use 75% less energy than incandescent lighting. Okay, not meant for me to be, my fingers are not on the right keys. Okay, let me try that again, shall I? Now I've got all caps on. This keyboard doesn't light up when you have all caps on, so you never know when you have it on until you type something. We're going to highlight that second bullet point, We're going to type in water sense as one word, and capitalize the S in sense, the first one. Certified shower heads. Hit the enter key. This time they tell you to hit the tab key on your keyboard because that's the fast and easy way to increase the list level. And for this one, we're going to type in family can save. $2,700 for 2,000 gallons of water yearly. Then we're going to highlight the third bullet where we're supposed to add it. And this one's going to be hot water pipe insulation. Hit the enter key and tab. And we're going to type in can raise temperature to -4 degrees. Don't hit the enter key. Now, Energy Star and WaterSense are both registered trademarks. So we have to go look for the symbol for this. And I can tell you the first time I did this, and probably the second time in class, those classes know who you are, and when I did it, I selected the wrong registration symbol. There are multiple copies of this trademark and copyright symbols using different fonts. And so I just thought I had the right one, and I didn't pay attention that in the book it said what character code it was. So I'll try to do it right this time. Click in front of the R for Energy Star, and we're going to go to Insert on the ribbon and go to Symbol. Now, you will see lots of stuff here, and probably your font does not say symbol. So if you're way up here somewhere, you know, normal text or something like that, not Latin, normal, you know, there's a copyright symbol, but it's probably not the one. If I was using it, you know, it wouldn't be the right one. So you want to click on the pull down list, and I just drag the bar all the way down to the S's as low as I can go. In the S's, I may have to backtrack here just a bit till I find symbol. Now we're here at the top, and there's one right there. Oh goody. But it's not going to be the right one, and that's the one I selected because it is more of a superscript and it's smaller. That's not it. So they tell you to just drag your scroll bar all the way to the bottom. See, I wasn't too far off. It's this one that's bigger and doesn't have the serifs or serifs, depending on how you want to pronounce that. The little curly cues at the end of the letters. It's a non or sans serif font. But you'll see the character code is 226. So we're going to say, okay, insert that, thank you. Close the box. And then they want us to highlight this symbol and copy it and paste it in after the E in WaterSense. So I'm going to do a Control-C, and I'm going to click in front of the E in WaterSense, and I'm going to do a Control-V to paste. And lo and behold, it puts a space between the two. So I'm going to click in front of the registration mark and hit the backspace key. As soon as I do that, you'll notice the misspelling of WaterSense disappears because now our program recognizes that if you put that trademark or registration symbol next to that particular word or phrase, that it is probably spelled correctly with that capitalization the way it is. So I'm going to save what I've done so far. So we have successfully copied our symbol and we've placed it where it's supposed to be. They have decided that the title should be a hyperlink. So we're going to click and just paint across, or you can triple click. And in the insert group on your tab on your ribbon, there is a links group. Click on the one in the middle that says link, says add a hyperlink. Now, we've already highlighted the text to display, so it's already in its box. We're telling it where to find what it's looking for. And so down in the address, you start typing www. And all of a sudden mine starts to fill in with the http://protocol in front of the www, and it finishes it out because I've used this so many times before. So what you start typing is www.energysaver.gov, G-O-V. And so I'll pause here for a second, so if you need to blow this up a little bit, you can. And then we're going to go ahead and say OK. When you click away from that, you can tell that it's an underlined link, and if you point at it, you can see it says click to, you can do a control click to try to follow that website. It's not blue underlined text like we're used to. It's using whatever theme colors have been used or assigned to this particular file that we've downloaded. Okay, so save what you've done again. And we're going to convert our bulleted list here into a SmartArt graphic. You use one of those in Word. I know we did it in the third module. So I'm going to select all of the bullets, and I need to go to Home on the ribbon. The Select button is in the editing group at the end of that ribbon, so I'm going to click on that and do a Select All. That's one way we could have selected it all. Then, while I'm here in the paragraph group, there is Convert to SmartArt. So we're going to click on that, and you can kind of hover over these and see what they're going to do. But ultimately, you need to go to More SmartArt Graphics. And because this is a whole list of all of them, you want to go narrow your focus to Lists. And then you want the second one in the second row called Vertical Box List. When you click on it, it's going to show a sample here on the side and tell you how you might use it. I love that they give me some helpful hints. I'm going to click on OK, and I'm going to click away from it for just a second. Now, if I'm running this slideshow, and if I have a nice big screen to project it to, my white letters on the light blue color wouldn't be so bad. But, depending upon the size of your screen, if you will, that you're going to project it to or monitor or whatever, you might want to consider changing the color of that text. They don't have you do that in this particular lesson, but I would like to just show you that before we leave this one. I go back and I select the whole thing. And in the SmartArt tools, this is deviating off the book for a moment. But there was a thing for changing colors, and you can hover over these and see how they might look. That would be easier to read. Then there's the colorful. It'd be a little harder to read on the yellow. And so you could just look at the colorful ones and see if there's any there. And of course, this is pretty close to what you've already got. But I really think that fuchsia color down there, whatever it is, man oh man, it just jumps off the page. So you could change colors. I hit the escape key for that. You can also take a look at how some of the SmartArt styles could change. This would be a good fit because all the text is in black letters, and it's just so much easier to see and to read on the blue background. But we're not supposed to do those things, so I'm just going to move away from that, and I'm going to click away from that. But I wanted to show you something that you should, be able to know how to do. We're going to save what we've done so far, and then we're going to go to our next SmartArt graphic, which is slide 3. That's already there. Now they have put placeholder text, and again, this is someone who typed it in. This is not how it came to us. They've put these in to help us understand where we're supposed to place things. Your textbook has you first and foremost put all the titles in, but when you click on this, there's going to be this little arrow, and it'll open up what they call the text pane, and you can type your bullets inside there, and it'll automatically change it over here. If I go to SmartArt Tools Design, you'll see that text pane is selected because I have it open. When I close it down here, it's no longer selected. So they have you go up there to the ribbon. I'm kind of like, it's right here, why can't I just open it here? And I am going to deviate just a little because I want to start typing the first title and the task descriptions for the first box. So I have to highlight the text that's in there already. Yes, you can do the same thing inside of the graphic, and we will, but I just want to demonstrate how the text pane can be helpful. So for this one, we're going to call it Appliances, and then we're going to select the first task description under it. And this one is supposed to be unplug when not in use. And then the second one under Appliances is going to be Ask about rebates. Now, that finishes up that one. And I can kind of see how this is going to go. So I'm going to close up the text pane. I'll triple click in, if I can get that to go, triple click. There we go. For step 2, the name should be Windows. And then for step 3, it should be Lighting. Now we have tasks to type in, so I'm going to go to the Windows first task description. I'm going to highlight the text. And for this one, we're going to type in Seal Leaks and highlight the second bullet text. And this is Close curtains at night in winter. Now, I'm going to do something different than what the book does over here. We're going to go ahead and type in the descriptions, but I'm going to deliberately miss a step. So I'm supposed to type in the lighting one by B-U-Y, LEDs with proper capitalization. Now, when I get down to this task description here, I'm supposed to tab for it to be indented, but I'm going to accidentally forget to do that. Use indoors and outdoors. Now I'm going to open up the text pane for a moment. When I've typed this, they're on the same level. And this is how you have to interpret your bullets. The first bullet for lighting says buy LEDs. That's smart. They're a little more expensive, but they last a long time, and they're very, very energy efficient. But then it says, if you think about it, it says lighting used indoors and outdoors. Well, it's not really tied to LEDs, and it's supposed to be. So I forgot to indent the use indoors and outdoors. You can click in front of the U, and you can hit the tab key, and it'll indent it. I'm going to come over here inside of my text pane and do the same thing. And it indents it in both places. Now, the reason why I wanted to show you this is we weren't thinking along the lines of lighting and windows and appliances being a first level bullet, because this doesn't look like a bullet, you know, a bulleted list with this SmartArt graphic, but it really is. And so by looking at lighting and then by LEDs, and then you can see that use indoors and outdoors is further indented, it gives you a better understanding of how this is put together. So I'm just going to close out the text pane, and I am going to save what I've done. Now we want to select all of the pieces that are part of the SmartArt graphic. So make sure that it's selected. And we're going to go to Home. And remember I showed you again where Select was and Select All in the editing group. That's a quick way to select everything. You don't have to worry about clicking on different things to make sure you get them all. And then we are going to boldface the text. So we'll click on the B for bold. They're going to have us put a shadow, text shadow. I'm not real happy about a text shadow because it starts to look blurry. Depends on how big the letters are. And let's see, so we've done bold and text shadow. I'm going to say this. Okay, they want to change this SmartArt layout. So we just want to click in a blank area inside, so we have just the Smart Art selected. I really don't want to because I really like this layout. But I'm going to click on Design, and just let's look at this. Alternating Flow, that's what that one's called. You can kind of hover over this first row of layouts just to see what they would look like. You can click on the pull down arrow, and of course if you could see behind everything here, you could see how it's doing these. We want to go to More Layouts, and they want us to choose List, and scroll down to the bottom if you need to, and in the far right corner, the second one from the bottom is Target List. Now I would like it better if it filled in the colors like it does here, but when we say OK, it didn't put any colors there. We'd have to manually tell it to do that. But this is the way they want it to look. Like I said, I like the flow, alternating flow. We want to save this change. And now we're going to put the title in here, so we'll just go up here and triple click, and it's Tips to Save Energy. And then we will, just click away from it so it's done. Now, we're going to create or introduce 2 new slides. So with slide 3 being the one that's still selected, we're going to go to New Slide in the Slides group, and we're going to choose the title and content. So there's the first one. Now, this is what we're used to. You click there and the stuff goes away and you can type what you want. We're going to also duplicate this slide, so we're going to go back to New, since it's selected, go back to New Slide, and down at the bottom is Duplicate Selected Slides. So I'm going to click on that. But we want to be back on 4 when we're ready to start our next item. And I'm going to stop this recording here because it's going to get really busy in the next section, so I'm going to end this part and then go ahead and start the second part. So hang on to your hats.